My name is Dr. IjeBliss. So I'm very passionate about creating awareness on common health conditions so that you can prevent them and you can get medical help fast enough, and then you can overall take charge of your health and live a healthier life. So today I want to talk about stroke. Stroke is something that a lot of us may have heard about, may have had someone affected by it, and oftentimes the response to stroke can make a world of difference between who survives and who doesn't. So what's stroke? Stroke is simply when the blood supply in the brain is interrupted. It can be interrupted and lead to what you call an ischemic stroke, where there's no blood supply at all, or it can be interrupted and lead to what you call a hemorrhagic stroke, where it's as if the vessels just burst open and splash blood everywhere. So, but basically, the brain is not getting enough blood, and the brain controls movement, speech, action, thinking, and everything. So you can imagine when that powerful center that controls everything is shut down, because the blood gives the oxygen, the nutrients to the nerves, to everything that's in the brain. And when someone has stroke, all of this, kind of gets affected. So there's so many causes of stroke: high blood pressure, even diabetes is linked to it, some congenital malformations, a lot of factors that cause stroke. But that's not my focus now. I want to talk about how you can recognize stroke and seek help immediately. I've been so sad seeing people who could have presented to the hospital on time, delay, do some other things before coming to the hospital. And when they do not recover some of the functions they lost because they had a stroke. So there's this mnemonic, it's called FAST, F-A-S-T. How fast can you get to the hospital? It tells you what to see and you begin to suspect stroke, and then you should rush to the hospital. So the F stands for the face, the A stands for the arms, the S stands for the speech, and the T stands for time. When we talk about the face, what do you see? You ask the person to smile, or you ask the person to, even when the person is trying to talk, what do you notice? Is the face still the same way? So someone that has stroke will be like, one part of the face may be not having an expression, or what you call the folds on the face. Like this thing now, it will just be plain like this. There'll be no folds like this. And that can, get you thinking, this could be a stroke. What do I do? Get to the hospital. The next one is the arms. So when someone has a stroke, they may not be able to move their arms. You might see someone like that and you're asking them, raise your hand, and the person is like this, raise your hand, raise it. They're trying, but it's not moving. Raise your hand now. And the person who could, drink water by themselves, takes a cup and it falls off their hand, that is highly suggestive of a stroke. Get to the hospital. The next point now is speech. I already demonstrated it. Usually someone who has a stroke will struggle to talk. You'll be saying, Mama, how are you? Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm fine. What did you eat today? Someone's voice sounds different, or they can't voice it out. And sometimes they get so frustrated because they understand you. In some cases they do, but they can't talk. And then another point that is important in stroke is if they lose consciousness, or they lose ability to control some of the basic functions they will control before. Like you see the person not being able to hold their urine in. Someone who was continent before, who could go to the bathroom by themselves, suddenly starts weeing on their clothes. There's a problem. It could be stroke, especially when the other factors are there. Another thing, of course, faces they can. And then the T in fast is time. Time to get to the hospital. There are certain drugs that could be administered, but they are time bound. If you don't come there on time, you might miss that window of opportunity. So that's important. So get to the hospital if you see any of this. Can you share your experiences with stroke? Do you know a family member? Do you know anyone who's had a stroke? How did it turn out? Was there any difference in the care they received? Just share. If you have questions about stroke, feel free to ask in the comment section. See you soon.